Oh baby. Oh baby. Number 1 ranked Katarina in the world. That's what I like to see. Yo, what is going on, guys? Spaghetti Rip here, man. It's been a while. It has been a while. Guys, I apologize for not uploading videos, but very interesting and exciting times now. Tekken 7 is finally here. I know I'm a bit late to the party, but you know, I've been grinding this game out. And as you guys know, KATARINA is the character that I decided that I was going to pick before the game came out. I've been playing this character for a while now. Some of you guys might know that I went to a couple of tournaments, most recently the UK Championship Finals. I came third there, which was really GG's, using KATARINA and Eddie. And yeah, I've won a couple more tournaments using KATARINA, so you know, good character. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm number 1 ranked in the world, so I'm going to show you guys how to win with this character. This character is insanely fun. So you know, strap your belts, man. So in this video, we're going to be going through 5 different sections. So number 1 will be the general overview. Number 2 will be punishes. Number 3, top moves. Number 4, ranges. And number 5, combos. So I just kind of made this up on the fly in terms of a structure. I want to go and do this kind of structure for all the tutorials that I'm going to make in the future. So hopefully it runs out. Let's just jump straight into it now. So general overview of the character. This is where I tell you what the character is about. You know, just generally, who is KATARINA? What is it all about in game? Well, she is a very hard-hitting character. She has a lot of moves which just do chunks of damage, and you know, you want to be utilizing them. They're kind of high risk. Yeah, granted they are high risk, but the reward is there too. And the other element to her is her counter hit playstyle. I think, you know, she's got great pokes, and her counter hit moves are just like insane. They're so damaging, they're so good, and you know, they're kind of abusable too. So she's very counter hit heavy, and you know, really like sort of a chunky damage character. So now that we've talked about her general strategy or what she's about, let's talk about punishes, because punishes are extremely important, and I think KATARINA has some of the best punishes in the game, I feel, you know. So for standing punishment, she has I-10 1-1. Now 1-1 is pretty good. If you hold forward, you can go into a Harriet stance. So 1-1 is good. She has for I-12 2-2, very simple, very easy. For I-15, you got hop kick. Now in between that, from I-12 to I-15, you have for 13 down forward 1-1, and you got for 14 back 1-2. But you don't really need to know that. What you guys are going to be wanting to do is anytime someone does a hop kick, 2-2, you just mash 2-2. I mean, it's so good, and it's plus 10 as well. So if your opponent tries to mash anything after it, any move after 2-2, you know, you can get a nice counter hit. So we're going to go into that a bit more later on. But yeah, I mean, 2-2, amazing I-12 punisher. So 1-1, 2-2, and hop kick. Those are the 3 punishes standing that you want to know about. So for while standing punish, you have while standing 4. For her I-11, you have for I-13 while standing 1-1, which you can hold forward and go into her stance. And for I-15, you got while standing 2. And these are really all you need to know as well. For it's very simple punishes. One thing I do want to tell you about her while standing 4, because at the end of the day this is a tutorial, so I'm going to teach you a bit about the moves as well, is her while standing 4 is +8 or +9 or something like that. Anyway, +8 I think. So again, like I said, if your opponent presses any buttons after this, you know, you get a nice little knee. And because it's so plus, you know, you have so much advantage here. You can really do anything. Your opponent can't do much, not even step. Your opponent will not be able to step like many moves after this. If you think they're going to do it, then you know, hit them. So that about does it for punishes. Now let's move into what I think is probably going to be the most important part of this tutorial, which is the top moves. Now, top moves, I'm going to go through the counter hit moves first. Her counter hit move, so this is my favorite move in the game right now, 4-4-4. Now, why is 4-4-4 so good? Well, it's an 11 frame counter hit launcher. It gives you a free combo. So boom, boom, boom. You can do 2-2 and then run up and yeah, boom. Now the reason why this is so good is because obviously it's really quick, but it's it jails as well. So it's a high, mid, high, high, mid, high, mid, high. Now the good thing about 4-4-4 or just 4-4 is like obviously like I said, one thing is that it is steppable, but not many people are gonna know that or be able to do it in a game because it's so quickly. It's so quick. Sorry. So it's a very, very good move to just throw out, and it tracks a little bit to her right, I think. So it's a really good move to just throw out, man. You want to be, like I said, you want to be trying to fish for counter hits. So 4-4-4 is this an amazing move, guys. You want to be using this anytime you think that your opponent is being really too aggressive and stuff. You know, it's such a good button killer. You know, you're gonna get a lot of counter hits with it. So 4-4-4. You have down forward 4, which is an I-15 counter hit knee. It gives you a full combo on counter hit. Now, the reason why this is really good is, again, it tracks to one of her sides. You know, like I said in the beginning, it's a move like 4-4-4 and down 4-4 are moves you're going to be wanting to try and incorporate into your game, because you're going to try and frame trap your opponent. You're going to try and bully them and try to get a lot of counter hits from them. So these are two very, 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 very important moves to keep in your mind. So 4-4-4 and down 4-4. Moving on. So how, you're probably asking yourself now, like, why? How am I going to get counter hits? How do I get counter hits from with KATARINA? Well, okay, she has a really good jab string. You got 1-1-1, which is high, high, mid, and you've also got 1-1-2. Now 1-1-2 surprisingly is +8 or something on block. So many people won't really know that. So if I just play 1-1-2 and I'm mashing jabs, look, I'm mashing jabs. Boom. Okay, let it do it again. Boom, boom, boom. I'm mashing jabs and I get counter hits. So it's again it's got a bit of pushback, but it is one of those moves that, you know, if your opponent is just not respecting you at all, 1-1-2 into the knee, you know, like that's one way of getting counter hits. Now, what's other ways of getting counter? Well, you got moves like down 4-2-2 and down 4-2-4. Now, both of these are nice moves because down 4-2-2 is only -10, and it's so much damage. If you want to get a wall splat, this is your go-to move, really. So think about down 4-2-2. Now, down 4-2-1, the interesting thing is that it's +1 on block. So it's one of those moves again that if you want to try and get your 4-4-4 as a counter hit, you know, it's going to trade with jabs, of course, but if your opponent does anything slower, or, you know, even tries to not respect you, 4-4-4 is probably going to get you a counter hit. So again, keep that in your mind. So down 4-2-2, down 4-2-2 and down 4-2-4. Really, really good moves. Moving on with from more top moves is, I think her down forward 1 is it's just so good. It's such a good move because it's one of those moves which I feel, in my experience, is something that on block people like to press buttons after it. So I've seen a lot of Koreans, Japanese players, when they're using KATARINA, they love to use down forward 1 and kind of move and, you know, just really try to bully their opponent, man. You know, you can even do stuff like down forward 1 into 4-4-4, down forward 1 into, like, you know, step and low, or even down back 3 or something. You know, it's a move which you guys need to be using a lot. Down forward 1 is a very good mid poke, I-13 of course. So make sure you guys are using a lot of down forward 1 and bullying your opponent, making them pissed. You know. So let's move on. What else? So we need to know what lows she has, of course. So her lows. How do we open up an opponent who's just sitting back? Well, it's actually kind of hard for KATARINA because if your opponent is really reactive and knows about the lows, then, you know, it's going to be risky for her. But she does have good lows. So you got down 3 as a poke. You know, down 3 is really good, and there's you know, follow-ups from it. This is -13, down 4-3-3. It's not natural combo, of course, so like that would be OP, but it is counter hit, so NCC. So on counter hit, that's guaranteed. There's also a high, which is safe. Low high, of course, you can duck it. So it's one of those moves as well. It's really good. If this is a pretty good low poke. You have full crouch down forward 4. Which is, look at the damage. I mean, 24 damage is pretty good. I mean, it's launch punishable, but it is a pretty good low. So yeah, use full crouch down 4-4 as well. Obviously, you want to mix that up with while standing 2. And now you got a low, which this is a crazy low. When I first found out about this low, I was like, damn. Now you think, is there a low where Katarina is going to be able to hit you at this range? You'd think not, but down forward 3+4 has the most ridiculous range. You just don't think it's going to hit, but it hits. No, mine didn't hit there. But I mean, I'm just trying to find its max range, right? Like, dude, look at the range. Now, this is a really good move as well. Like, a lot of your opponents are going to be trying to space you, and if they are trying to do that, it's going to be hard for them to think that there's a move that's going to be able to hit at this range, but it just does. It's such a good move. Obviously, it's launch punishable again. That's why I talked about in the beginning, risk reward sort of thing. But down forward 3+4 is a really really good move. And on counter hit, this is new to the console version, so this didn't exist it still doesn't exist in the arcades. On counter hit, you're gonna get a boom into free up back 4. So, you know, crazy good move there. And then of course you got down back 3. Now down back 3 at the wall is going to give you a free up back 4. I can't show you here, I'm on a wallless stage, but
he's not going to spend rage drive just yet. You know he's going to keep it until the very end. However, now we might see it. Oh no, the comeback again from Spaghetti Rip.
It's a lot of damage, and you know, coupled with the fact that you can do down forward 2-2, your opponents are not going to want to get. They're going to duck because they don't want to get hit by this. One time they get hit by this into up back 4, they're going to be like, oh crap, you know, at the wall, I want to duck. He's going to do the low, but then down forward 2-2, right? Like I said. So guys, take notes, of course. Take notes of these moves that I'm talking about. Don't want you guys to forget. And then you got Snake Edge. Snake Edge is surprisingly a good, like, I mean, obviously people are going to react to it, but you'll notice that even though it's a bit of a scrubby move, as people would put it, it's still a move that if you can bait your opponents to do jabs and stuff and be unsuspecting, it is a move that can hit from time to time. So, you know, good move there as well. So those are her lows. What else does she have that's pretty good? Well, she has a couple moves really. Forward 3, you know, it's quite linear, but on normal hit it gives you a free up back 4, and on counter hit it's a launcher. So you know, it's a safe move. It's not punishable. So again, you know, a good move forward 3 if you want to use it. I don't use it much because, you know, I tend to at the range out here, you know, where it's likely to hit. I notice that people like to step a lot, so it often whiffs. But it is still a good move if you notice that your opponent is not really moving too much, you know, and you want to get in. If there's a way for you to, it's a good way for you to get in. And another move which I feel that not many people use, but I use quite a bit, is back 1-2. Now back 1-2 is plus on hit. I'm not sure exactly how plus, but it is plus, and it's safe on block, you know, and it's a natural combo. Now back 1-2 is, I don't know, man, like I just think it's such a good move. People like to jab after it because it looks punishable. So it's one of those moves, like I said, that if they're unsuspecting, you know, they'll jab and boom, you can get down back 3. So back 1-2, really good string. Boom boom. There's back 1-1-2 as well, but that's not natural. So back 1-2, guys, use that move a bit. I think, in my personal opinion, obviously maybe others would disagree with me, but I think that that's a good move to use. And of course, we have hop kick. Now hop kick is going to be one of the moves where you just, I mean, look at the range of it, man. If any of your opponents whiff, if you force them to whiff, like I said, with Katarina, bully your opponent, and then if they whiff, hop kick. Her hop kick up forward 4-4 is so good. So keep that in your mind, keep that in your armory for whenever your opponent's going to whiff, you go boom boom, and you know, that's also a really good move. See, with Katarina, you don't really want to be using too many different moves. She's a very simple character. So, you know, with all the moves that I'm talked about are basically the moves that I use mostly in a game. I sometimes don't even use all of them. Most of the time I don't. I just stick with a few moves, all of which I've mentioned at this point. So, I mean, you don't really need to use much more than what I've just told you. So moving swiftly on, we're going to be talking about ranges. Now, with Katarina, I feel her best range is just at her down 3 range. You know, because with down 3, you can also get 4-4-4, you can get down forward 1. These are moves where you want to be bullying your opponent. You want to be close as possible, I feel. Because her counter hits are so strong, and they're so quick, there's no reason for you to be sitting outside. And, you know, she's a brawler. she is like basically like someone like who is it that put it? Someone put it as she's like a female Miguel in a way, right? So she's not a character you want to be sitting back with and being patient. She ain't a Mishima player, man. She's not a Mishima. You can't just sit back and be like, okay, let me, you know, wait for something in electric. No. You're gonna be bullying your opponent. If you're watching and you're that kind of player, you're the kind of person that said, you know what, I like to fight. Okay, I want to bully him up and I want to rush him down. KATARINA is that character. So you want to be using a lot of down forward ones, down threes, 4-4-4s or 4-4s. And you know, just really mixing up your opponent and making them angry and pissed. And as soon as you start dashing in and then you dash out and you play a little bit more patient at the hop kick range, and they start whiffing, it's free damage for you, baby. It's easy. So range wise, I feel that's the range you want to be at. You know, you want to be at the down 3 range, so you can mix up all of these moves. Pokes, boom, if they mash buttons, this, and then if they mash even more than got this, you got so many different options for you to really hurt your opponent. So range wise, that's what I feel you should do. Of course, if you're stuck out here at this range, then there isn't much you can do. You know, you want to be mixing up your jab strings and, you know, your, like I said, everything else. At this range, what are you going to do? I mean, if someone's being really passive and not aggressive, right, then you know, you just need to try to find your way in. And one thing, like I said, you could do is, you know, this move, down forward plus 4. I told you, man, it's such a good move. And if you don't want to do that, you want to mix it up, forward 4-3. So it's another way for you to get in free damage. So, you know, guys, try your best to try and get in. I know it can be scary, but trust me, it's going to be more scary for your opponent. You're using KATARINA, okay? You need to try and get in as close as possible. So now we're going to be going through combos. I was debating putting this in because you guys can probably find combos elsewhere, but if you're completely new to KATARINA, you know, I decided to put it in just so you guys can get a simple idea on how to do a combo. The combos are really effective, they're really good, they're really fun. So I'm going to show you the combos from hop kick while standing 2, down back 4, and they're pretty much the same, you know, so you guys can practice that in practice mode. I'll show you the wall combos as well. So I'm going to turn the cam off, turn the mic off, and put the notations on screen so you guys can see. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That was my first tutorial on how to use a character in this game. I'm probably going to do many more, and they're probably going to be better quality than this, but I really want to get this out to you as soon as possible. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please let me know and tell me how I can do videos better. You know, always open to criticism. And you know, I've been Spaghetti Rip, and I guess until next time, peace. And of course, we cannot end the video without extra stuff. I always add something extra in the end. But this is something that I probably should have talked about, but the reason I did it in the main tutorial section is because I don't really feel that this is that effective in game. Not yet anyway. So she has a stance, forward 4. It's called Harriet. Now, from the stance you can do quite a few things. So you can cancel it by holding down and probably go into a full crouch mix-up. That's one of the things which I you know, which I probably thought is one of the uses of it. However, there are some moves from it. So you got Harriet 2, which gives you free up back 4. It is punishable. You got Harriet 4, the knee, mid, also punishable. not launch. Again, both of these moves are not launch punishable, but they are punishable. And you've got a low with 3, which is actually kind of cheap. This is one way to get in, I guess. So of course if your opponent is being quite turtly, then holding forward 4 has got a lot of range. So you know, one of the things about this move again is on counter hit, get a free up back 4. A lot of damage, 54 or 50 something. I'm on rage right now, so. And then there's forward 4, Harriet into up forward 3, which is the same as her forward 4-3. Gives a combo on counter hit and gives you a free up back 4. So yeah, I mean it's useful if you guys want to use it. Maybe you can find some use for it. I mean, for me, I feel that all of our other tools are just good enough for me to. I don't need to use that stance too much. Aside from maybe I do use this low a little bit, because people just they don't like to press buttons too much. If they just like to be really patient, then I'm just gonna do that sometimes to piss them off. Otherwise, no, I don't really think that the other moves are that useful. Maybe this I can use a bit more as a mid, but I don't know. Now, one other thing I wanted to talk about was her rage drive. Now, you saw how much damage it does at the wall. That's probably its best use. If I had rage, I would probably want to use it for rage drive. If I have walls, I want to keep my rage until I can probably find a wall, because it's going to be tons of damage, just like you guys saw in the combo video. Try to show you guys again. Just look at the damage, 110 for 100. I mean, dude, rage drive is good. But another use for it is also, you know, it is plus on block. So if the opponent blocks it, I'll try to make the opponent block. Can you block? Standing guard. There we go. Boom. So it's actually got a good use for that too. Again, if your opponent is one of those to press buttons, you know, you can go for a rage. You know, you can go for a 4-4-4, or you can go for a down forward 4. It is very plus on block. But also, if you find that your opponent knows that it's plus on block and completely respects it, then it's a free mix-up. It's a completely free mix-up. You can maybe go for a down back 3, or, you know, right, if you go for a down forward 4, go for a snake edge if you want to. So yeah, that's the last thing I want to talk about. Talk about the rage. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Let me know if you own any other characters that you want to see tutorials for. And yeah, until next time, peace.